Hey everyone, Ivan Bluko here. Let's continue with our what if I was reborn as a Saiyan slash what if Parks was reborn as the Namekian storyline. Now, a quick review on this storyline because it's going to change a lot of things in this early part. I was reborn as a Saiyan and took a female Saiyan named Pepper with me to Namek right a couple months before the explosion of planet Vegeta. Meanwhile, the riding buddy of mine named Parks was reborn as a Namekian. He's been there trying to gain access to the Dragon Balls to become similar to Orange Piccolo, but he's not strong enough to do so yet. I'd also like to show off my little SS4 Goku. It's really nice. I really like this Goku. It's so cool and well, I'm not really into Funko or anything like that. It was a gift from my sister. Now that we've shown that, let's get started with the what if. Now, we left off with me and Pepper landing on Namek. Delta saw that there's some really high power levels and he decided to go and face off with them. I told the Namekians I came in peace, but they see that I'm a Saiyan, so that's when Nail comes in and is ready for action. Seeing that he's too dangerous, I put my hands up saying, "Oh no, please, we come here on a peaceful mission." While Pepper thinks this is fine and blasts Nail. Nail deflects the shot easily, and she sees that this is a dangerous situation. I tell her, "Stop, we need to handle this peacefully," and she's like, "All right, whatever." And then that's when Delta comes in and tries to charge at me. Since neither of us want to reveal that we're from another universe, that we don't know that either of us are from Earth, I simply just karate chop him and just leave him on the floor because I'm way more powerful at this point. I already said above 2,000, 3,000, while the average Namekian would be in the 500 to 1,000s range, so it wouldn't be a challenge. This is where I asked to let us meet Elder Guru, and he sees that I left Delta on the floor and didn't want to hurt him, so he thinks, alright, let's go, and just drags him as well, bringing a Namekian healer later on to heal him. This is where I talk to Elder Guru and I tell him about what I come here for. I come here for the Dragon Balls, but not in the way that they expected. I told them that my planet has been destroyed, planet Vegeta. There's going to be an evil tyrant named Frieza who's going to come to Namek one of these days and destroy the planet. Nail thinks that I'm just a vanguard and is ready to destroy me, but I tell him, "Elder Guru, read my mind and you can see the truth." Elder Guru places his hand over my head and reveals that yes, I'm telling the truth. There will be a Frieza invasion in the next few decades. Nail wondering what can we do in the meantime, and I'm telling him we need to train. I don't want to get hurt either, and I don't have any real martial arts experience. Pepper, thinking this just sounds boring, goes outside to just sit around or take a nap. And I revealed, yeah, I'm from another universe, and my real name is not Sprout, it's a human name. My name is Ivan. This is where Delta is shocked, thinking, wait, Ivan, my name is actually Parks. I'm like, Parks? I wrote stories with a guy named Parks online. He's like, oh yeah, and I'm like, I love Emotos, and I'm like, oh my god, it is you. And he thinks, wait, this is you? This is what you look like? And I'm like, well, I'm a Saiyan. I'm like, are you a green bug man? And I'm like, no, I'm not, but it's similar to my OC drawing of my demon form. And we have a nice chuckle. We're finding out that we actually know each other. Now, we're wondering what to do next. I ask for the Dragon Balls. I tell them I need them for supplies. I want a special set of wishes to be done immediately. My first wish would be a fridge of unlimited food and drinks that restocks every time you open and close it. Of, healthy foods, sodas, meat, all kinds of things, just so I can have it to eat in the event of I get hungry, because Namek only has some fruit. I'd also ask for an immunity to all viruses and diseases in the universe for myself, And then my third wish would be for a capsule house with running water and electricity without needing to be connected to any sort of power system. Those would be my first three wishes. Nail gets the Dragon Balls and commits all three wishes. Delta wishes that he could get his potential unlocked, but Elder Guru tells him now is not the time for that. Seeing that that both I and Delta need to condition our minds and bodies before we're given such a power to not fall into the trap of being overconfident. I tell him, all right, I understand. But I tell him in my next set of wishes, I need a man named Goku, formerly going by Kakarot, to have also the same wish of being immune to heart diseases and viruses. I would also like to be able to breathe in space, and a personal one, billions of zenny, so I can eventually just live on Earth. Those would be wishes down the line. Now, how would I be training? Well, first, I wouldn't be wanting to spam Zenkais as much. Me and Delta would be training partners. Pepper would do her own training, thinking that, oh, we're just wasting time, like Planet Vegeta isn't destroyed. So later down the line, after me and Delta have gone way more powerful, I asked Elder Guru to give her like the memories of Frieza destroying the planet. This would enrage her, seeing that her entire species had been destroyed. Wondering why I'm taking this so nonchalantly, I tell her I knew that was gonna happen. Frieza is an evil tyrant. We need to team up and destroy him. This gets Pepper on board, deciding that she finally wants to train with us. And with two Saiyans training, our progress would go way faster. And thanks to the Namekian healer, I would say when Dende becomes old enough, he can be the later healer, so we can tell him about how he can be a guardian on Earth early on. We're going to get way more training done, way more Zenkais. Like, over the years, I actually plan on trying to be a Super Saiyan, but I think it's not strong enough. Since I know about Broly using his human form in Ikari to control his great ape, I thought maybe I should start with that. This is where I'm like, I use the Blood Swave, and I control my ape form. Me and Pepper are training in our ape forms, getting adjusted to it slowly and slowly. Eventually, I would have my control of my ape form in my human form, which I would use to like face off with Nail, because he's still way more stronger than me. But with time, over the years, I would eventually become stronger than Nail. Now, Pepper finally seeing that I'm not the normal average Saiyan warrior anymore, we'd have to think, what about the Saiyan race? I think, well, we have been close for many years, so I'm like, we could get married. She's thinking, what's marriage? And I remember, oh right, Saiyans don't really understand this. I tell her, okay, so it's like a bond. You and me, team, partner, we would be together, have children. Like, continue the race. She would think, alright, that's fine. She's basically like an airheaded tomboy. And Saiyans really love strong women, so she would be the perfect one. Eventually, we would have like two children. I would name them Aura and Starry. They're just names from characters of my OCs, but I won't have them be as important, but they will be around. Now, Saiyans always have two kids, like as we see. The only outlier is Paragus having Broly. But we can continue on with that later, because this will be important, having two extra Saiyans in the future. Parks would eventually demand that he would get his potential unlocked, and I would want my potential unlocked too. Same with Pepper. Now Elder Guru. Now then, we would be training for like a decade, 2 decades easily, because Goku didn't go to Namek until he was above his 20s, and we would be way more powerful. I would say easily in the hundred thousands, if not close to million, even before potential unlocked. With a lot of things going on, I would think, okay, like we've been here for like a couple decades. Now, I would have the kids later on, so they'd be around the age of Gohan. But this is the time where it's like, it's finally time. We need to like start doing some super training. Elder Guru obliges and unlocks my, Pepper's, and Delta's potentials, easily getting a 10 to 20 times boost of power. Now Delta would be in 10 million, I would be above 20 to 40 million, and Pepper would be of 15 million. We are a lot more powerful, and now Delta feels this extra power welling up. Knowing that it's the yellow form, it's going to be very useful. Now, we still have a couple years before Namek gets invaded, so I'm thinking, what else can we do? Delta suggests maybe we can just unlock your Super Saiyan form, and I'm thinking, yeah, but that would attract too much attention if a sudden burst of power comes out. I think we need techniques, we need skills. And then I remember Yardrat. That's why I asked Elder Guru for the Dragon Balls again. I tell them we need to head to Yardrat, the three of us. Now, they oblige. Now I tell him, Nail, you can come with us too to learn the teleportation skill. And he thinks, no, my job is here. And this Nail would be a lot more powerful thanks to all the sparring we've been doing. So when eventually he faces off against Frieza, he'll be able to handle him a lot better. So Frieza would be held back longer, but it would still be about the same way. I decided to just leave him like that, so that Piccolo would honestly gain a little more power. Now we go to Yardrat. Me, Delta, and Pepper go there and start learning all their techniques. Because we have extra time, unlike Goku, we decide we can spend the time training with all these skills and techniques. Teleportation is another dream I've always had of wanting teleportation. Delta gains the same thing, plus he has Close Beam, which I want to learn that as well, so eventually I would learn that. And then Pepper would gain teleportation too, because she thinks it's pretty cool. I would also make sure that we learn for Spirit Vision, because that will be important in the future for the Cell Saga. Because Dr. Gero is already in the process of creating his androids, we're going to have to deal with that in the future. But because we haven't been on Earth yet, he doesn't know about our power levels. Currently, me and Pepper have Ikari, and Delta is on his way to getting Super Namekian, which I would say is basically Super Saiyan levels of power, maybe Master Super Saiyan levels of power when he eventually controls and masters it. So after a year or two of training, we teleport back and see that our kids, Aura and Starry, have been enjoying their time with the Kid Namekians. The fridge of unlimited food has been great, just letting us have a bunch of parties, cookouts, and talk to the Namekians about Earth and things about going on. Pepper's also interested, wishes she can go to Earth. Now I tell her once Frieza is handled, we can go to Earth together. But now it's time for the Namek saga. Many of the Dragon Balls would be in different locations, but we didn't see much of that happening, so Frieza would be just gathering Dragon Balls as soon as possible. Instead of letting the Namekians get hurt, all we do is leave the Dragon Balls and have them run away and escape. Some Namekians get captured and do lose their lives, which would enrage us, knowing that we've been making friends with them over the decades. But we would bring them back in the future thanks to the Dragon Balls. So we just need to focus and plan ahead now. Now there will be some changes to the Namek saga. With us being way more powerful, we're masking our strengths and just letting things ride out the way they should. Given that Frieza is going to appear soon, this is where I decide, alright, I'm going to hold. Alright, Nail, you're going hold off Frieza because I need to find some people. And he's like, alright, and he just heads off to go hold off Frieza because he's way more powerful, he has more time. Vegeta would actually find Pepper. Thinking, what's a female Saiyan doing here? Pepper's like, I escaped planet Vegeta before the explosion. Vegeta, thinking this is a great thing, knowing that there's a female Saiyan so he can continue to raise, offers for her to be his wife, and Pepper just immediately shoots it down, thinking this is no thanks. Vegeta, enraged, thinking, why? I'm the prince of all Saiyans, and she tells, I'm already happily married. There's nothing and thinks, your low classes and marriage? Fool, what? Well, that's only hell for the high class, you fool. And tell him, alright, you wanna square up? And Vegeta, thinking he's much stronger thanks to his Zenkai, immediately rushes her, which Pepper gut punches him one time using a fraction of her true power, knocking out Vegeta. Now, I told her, do not end the life of Prince Vegeta. He will be relevant in the future. So she just grabs him and just drags him, throws him on the floor, calls over a Namekian healer, heals him up slightly, and then we just leave, leaving Vegeta getting a slight Zenkai boost and thinking, what was that? But before he has time to think, he would find and see Dodoria and immediately go after him to continue on with the normal, thinking I'll find her later. Let me deal with Dodoria first. And he would be like sucked into the actual story of Dragon Ball. Now, with the Ginyu Force, many of them tried to go on Yardrat, but couldn't really deal with the Yardratians because we warned them ahead of time. So Ginyu and Co would be heading to Namek to go support Frieza soon enough. Delta would be ready for that fight because we are way more powerful. And Pepper would return. I'd ask her what happened. Vegeta is on the planet like you said, and I just knocked him out. I'm like, is he alive? I'm like, yeah, he's alive. I'm thinking, okay, good, that's fine. And now then, Delta's thinking, what are we waiting for? We can beat Frieza. And I'm telling him, we can beat Frieza, but we need to wait for Goku. And he's asking why. And like, not just, I want Goku to be stronger, and I want him to unlock Super Saiyan. I could probably unlock Super Saiyan myself, but I just don't have that real innate desire yet to tackle it. So a lot of the story takes place similar until Gohan and Krillin meet up with Elder Guru. They would see another Saiyan there and a strong Namekian and would probably be on the defensive. And I tell them, relax. I'm a good Saiyan just like you. Here's my wife Pepper and my 2 kids Aura and Starry. Now, 2 kids would get along with Gohan just fine. They would actually be way more powerful than Gohan as well because they also train and got their potentials unlocked, giving them way more power. Gohan would think, this is great. We have so many powerful people. We could take on Frieza. And I tell him, we're waiting for your father to get here. And I'm like, yeah, my dad can definitely help us. He's going to be really powerful. I tell him, right, he will. But Krillin's asking, why are you guys just letting Frieza run rampant on the planet? And I'm like, well, most of the Namekians actually got off planet a long time ago, so they'll be safe. And we'll revive anybody with the Dragon Balls. So we're just letting things go as they go. Now, when Goku appears on the planet, this is where a lot of so just handle your business and go find Bulma, and we'll help you out when Frieza starts fighting. Many of the events take place similar because we're just waiting for Goku to get here, waiting for him to fight with the Ginyu Force, and then because we prepared ahead of time, Goku doesn't need to be in that healing chamber. He's going to be healed immediately by Dende. Now with Frieza finally get on the planet, Vegeta starts handling him immediately. With the Dragon Balls, we would instead Delta would wish that Piccolo would be alive on Namek near Nail. Like, that would be his 2 wishes. Like, Piccolo gets revived, and he would be teleported next to Nail, who is on his last inch of life. That way, Piccolo can appear much sooner to face off against Frieza. And he'd be way more powerful, so he'd be able to handle the 3rd form. Because this Nail is a lot more powerful as well. Now I'm thinking, this is finally the time. Delta's thinking, I have no idea what you're talking about. And I'm like, this is what I've been waiting for. And I tell him, count how many Saiyans are on planet Namek. He's like, well, there's you, your wife, your 2 kids, and then Goku and Gohan. What do you... And then that's when it finally snaps. Super Saiyan God. And I'm like, that's right. And he's like, you want that powerful form now? Will Beerus wake up? And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, if Beerus wakes up, it wouldn't change much of the story. And God Ki can't be sensed by Frieza, so Dr. Gero wouldn't have a chance either. And he's thinking, right, this would be perfect. We'll be able to defeat Frieza, and we'll be able to handle a lot of the problems in the future. And I think that's right. And then it will help me, everyone else, get more powerful, because we're actually going to share. Like, Vegeta would be overhearing what is like Super Saiyan God. That was a myth, just like the Super Saiyan. I'm like, oh no, they're real. And I tell him, it's like, you can learn this too, you know, if you were a good person. And he's thinking, like, you're that Saiyan that she chose over me? And I'm like, yeah. So what? And he feels my power level, and he's like, I don't want to fight him. He's like, I don't want to fight you because he knows how powerful I am. And I haven't even shown my Ikari form or the false Super Saiyan, where I'm like, I have similar powers to Super Saiyan, but I haven't unlocked it yet. So Vegeta would have so many people above him. Now, with Frieza fighting Vegeta, he would think, okay, I'm just going to fight him. Maybe I could beat Frieza and show all of them how great I am. And then him and Frieza would fight. Now, while that's happening, I would call Goku and Gohan over. And because Gohan knows how we're good people, he would have a good introduction. Me, I'd be a little nervous because I'm meeting Goku, one of my favorite anime characters of all time. Delta would be like, it's Goku! He's so cool in real life! And I tell him, relax, Delta, we have to relax. We can't be fanboys right now. It's like there's Frieza is right there and being a threat. And Vegeta's just thinking, why aren't any of you helping me? And I'm telling him, relax, Vegeta will handle it. And Frieza's like, no, this is fine. And then I'm like, Piccolo comes in, and I'm like, alright, I'll just deal with this myself too. And then he jumps in where second form and third form Frieza are fighting. But Frieza looks kind of annoyed that no one's paying attention to him. But he's like happily taking on Namekian and Vegeta, so he probably doesn't mind. So while that's going on, I'll tell Goku and Gohan, I need you guys to do something for me. And he's thinking, oh, what? I need you, my kids, and my wife to all imbue me with power. Goku would be wondering, wait, why? I'm like, just trust me. This will be very fun. And he's like, alright, but will this affect me fighting Frieza? And I tell him, no, you can fight him. I just need to do this real quick. He's like, alright. Now, with the combined total of 6 pure-hearted Saiyans, we finally have Super Saiyan God Sprout. That's right, early Super Saiyan God. Because Frieza can't sense this power, he wouldn't know what's going on. He just thinks, oh, the monkey is red, whatever. And Goku would think, did you just do this to unlock Kaioken? I tell him, relax, this is not much of a change at all. So while Vegeta and Piccolo get knocked out after Frieza went into his final form, I tell Goku, you can fight Frieza now. That's fine. He's like, alright, and then he goes off and faces off against Frieza. Delta's wondering, can we just defeat him now? And I'm like, no, we need to wait for Goku to experience a lot of this battle. So we're simply watching this, and it's basically like a 3D version of the Namek saga, so we're just enjoying every single second of it. That is until Krillin is about to be destroyed. Before the explosion happens, this is where I kick Frieza in the face and knock him to the side. I tell him, no, we're not letting Krillin lose his life here. And then I reveal the secret to how Super Saiyan can be unlocked. I tell Goku, tingling back sensation. And this is where Goku is like, what? Just feel a tingle in your back. Hurry up. And like, alright. So he like starts fueling that power. Feeling it until he becomes a Super Saiyan. And then Pepper's like, can we become Super Saiyans now? I'll be like, sure. Where we also become Super Saiyans. And Frieza is shocked at how powerful all these Saiyans are. And thinking, you monkeys, how dare you? How dare you? Frieza, Vegeta, who's still alive because Dende is like right next to him healing him, is like, how are there so many Super Saiyans? Why can't I be a Super Saiyan? I'm like, I tell him, you have to be pure of heart to be a Super Saiyan. And with that power, I'm like, okay, Goku, you can handle Frieza. And we just let them fight. Meanwhile, that's happening. I'm just sparring with Delta so we can like try and unlock his Super Namekian gold form. And Pepper's just like enjoying it too, and so she joins up as well. Vegeta's outraged that they're not even treating Frieza like a threat. That Frieza thinks he's gonna blow up the planet, and every time he tries that, we just deflect a shot. And I tell him, focus on the fight with Goku before anything else. Frieza, getting more enraged, goes to his full powered form, and this is where Goku ends the tyrant himself. But to make sure that Frieza can't come back anymore, this is where I become Super Saiyan God and put my hand over Frieza and I tell him, we're not going to deal with you in the future. This is where we last will see you. And then just blast his body into smithereens. We are all celebrating. Frieza has been destroyed. Vegeta outraged. Now, what are we doing next? What we're going to do next is Kami's going to revive any of the missing Namekians that were defeated. I'm going to pack up all my stuff, including my fridge of unlimited food and drinks. This will be important in the future. This is going to be important in Super. And with my Super Saiyan God powers, I've just eclipsed like so many sagas. I'm already Majin Buu saga at lowest. But this is time when we're finally going to leave. Elder Guru thanks us for taking care of Namek and saving everybody. All of us saddened to know that this is the last time we're going to see Elder Guru. Thank him for all of our selfish wishes, and one that maybe we'll see him again someday in Otherworld. Elder Guru thinks it maybe not, giving Elder Mori his powers and then telling Delta, I would like to fuse with you. I would love to see the universe with you. And Delta thinks, alright, places his hand on Elder Guru and fuses. Delta now has Elder Guru in his body as a fusion. Nail is in Piccolo, where Piccolo is way more powerful, and Vegeta, enraged that there's so many more people powerful than him, which would make him wish to be more powerful and vow to defeat all of us. I tell him, we're going to be on Earth. Come to Earth if you want to become more powerful. And this is where where Elder Mori resets the Dragon Balls. We gather them once more, and then we wish ourselves. We have a couple wishes. The first wish would be wish us all of us that wish to go to Earth, including Vegeta, to Earth in front of Bulma's home. Then the next wish would be wish for a new planet to be created for the Namekians to live on. And the third wish, the Namekians will go to that new planet, leaving this one barren. With King Cold, he'll be wondering where the Namekians are, and he'll be wondering where his son went. So he would go to Earth. Now, since me and Delta already know he's coming to Earth, we know Trunks is going to be there and handle King Cold himself. Way easier, in fact. Because Goku already has the wish of being immune to heart viruses and diseases, he won't even need the medicine, but it'll be good just to have to reverse engineer it and then sell it, give it to a bunch of people in the future who might need it. So this is where we'll end off the Namek saga. Early Super Saiyan God. Eventually I'll be giving Super Saiyan God to my wife Pepper, offering it to Goku and Gohan, but they would both kindly decline it because Gohan thinks he's not going to need to fight anymore, and I tell him, oh no, you will fight. And he's in shock and is like, wait, why? And I'm like, no worries. And me and Delta will have a good time on Earth. Now, quick review of what we're going to do on Earth. Since I have the capsule house with unlimited water and electricity, I can place it down literally anywhere I want. With my kids, I would probably just ask Bulma to help raise them, teach them everything in school so that they can have their own lives. Because I don't plan on them training at all. I don't unless they wish, or would be a tomboy who would love to train, while Starry would be more polite and respectful man, but he would also be training as well. Eventually, I would give them Super Saiyan God on their 18th birthday because I can't give them that sort of power. That would be dangerous. Me and my wife would have power of Super Saiyan God and be training this power a ton. Dr. Gero wouldn't be able to get our DNA because he wouldn't know what's going on. He was simply focused on the King Cold and Trunks fight because that was the last DNA he would have, King Cold. So we would go completely under the radar before the Cell Saga begins. Because me and Delta learned Clothes Beam, we would simply make a clothing line of asking women what type of outfit they want and then just pop it onto them. We'd be making a fortune. Bulma alone would be asking for so many outfits. This is where a lot of the story would go similar, where because Goku is just fine with and he's not going to be affected by the heart virus. Me, Delta, and Pepper can all train together, and with Delta unlocking Yellow, he'll be a good contender to fight with me against Super Saiyan. Me knowing what the Super Saiyan power needs to be done, I would learn to master it. Same with Pepper. Goku would be taught teleportation from me and Delta because we already learned it, while Vegeta would be off by himself, pushing his body to the absolute limit. Delta would eventually find an orphanage and take care of any kids affected by the wars or famine or anything like that, being a special protector of the world, much like Kami, because he's also Namekian. I would simply just with my infinite food fridge, just dump it out for Delta to take and then give it to any starving orphans. He'd be adopting some kids that had no homes or no names and just taking them to the mountains to take care of them. 2 would be called Luna and Zena, 2 kids that he would name himself. Now he's this, big orange protector, similar guardian to protecting Kami, and Kami would be happy that there would be more kind-hearted people in the universe protecting Earth. Now, Kami would talk to me and tell him one day you would need to, fuse with Piccolo, so be prepared for that. And Piccolo would be I don't want to fuse with that old man. And I tell him, no worries, you will definitely need to fuse with him someday, so you can become more powerful. And you think, alright. And this is where we'll end off the Namek saga. Next up, we're going to the Android saga. And this one will be especially fun to talk about. Thanks for listening.